What is going on, everybody? And in this week's video, what Rob and I are going to be discussing is having a life outside of trading. This is actually something that recently I've been actually getting asked a couple questions on from you guys, where it's like, learning about trading all day is cool. You know, this is pretty much like the conversation that somebody had with me. Like, it's cool and all, but like, what do you do outside of this to kind of break away from, you could be stuck in a pattern of being on the charts all day. So before we really get into all of this, I'm just gonna ask you guys, if you guys get value out of the content that we put out for you guys week in and week out, please just like this video, share it, to your friends, comment on it, if you guys, what you guys like, if you guys didn't like something, what you guys wanna hear, whatever the case is. And yeah, what I really encourage you guys to do, if you get any bit of value at all, share it to people that are in this space, right? Because odds are, if you're getting value out of it, they're gonna be looking for or wanting to hear the same type of information. So with that being said, I'm just gonna jump right into it. So what really, the first stepping stone for me that got me into having a life outside of trading was developing this discipline in my life that I call time blocking. And I learned it, I think I learned it from Ed Milet. I'm not exactly sure which mentor of mine I picked this up from, but the concept is pretty simple. It's taking like 4-hour chunks or 6-hour chunks and assigning whatever topic or whatever task has to be done within that amount of time, right? So with me personally, when I first hit off success in trading, my time block was 7 to 11, right? Was my first time block of the day, 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. And what I would do is I would trade during that time, okay? And the reason why it was so easy for me to have a life outside of trading wasn't because if I was doing good on the charts or doing bad on the charts. It was because the other 20 hours of the day already had like a predetermined assignment, right? So there was something that I had to do within them. So from 11 to 3, it was fitness, it was self-development. From 3 to 7, I was working on other businesses, right? Like we were dropping like a lot of information in terms of online information between courses, putting out YouTube content, so on and so forth. When I got started with Airbnb, right? And then I would just have specific allocations of, okay, I have to do this, 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 and this. And the reason why that was so effective for me is, like I said, I didn't have a choice but to only trade and only focus on trading for that 4 hours of the day. So that was the easiest way for me to actually get to that point where I had a life, and a very fulfilling one. So
fire. That was fire.
we need the fire emoji.
Fire flame. Bam. That's where it comes up. So now what I want to talk about, I was just being very quiet in the intro because, bro, Jared explained things like a book, bro. Like, honestly, anything he said, you just put into a book. So basically, how am I gonna get into this? My life wasn't as very much structured as his. I figured this out by mentors and everything thus far, and experiencing life, experiencing working 24/7. I'm not a robot, not automation. Working and then trading at the same time, and then quitting work and then trading full time and realize I have too much time freedom, and I don't have nothing else. So I had to figure out and get more hobbies, because clearly it wasn't working for me at the time and everything. And you could only do so much in a 4-hour window. And to be honest, you're not even trading for the full 4-hour window. You're just kind of waiting the whole time.
Yeah.
So I want to start off by saying, trading doesn't need to be this career where you have to scrape everything you're currently doing as of right now.
Dude, that's the biggest
and just quit your job and I'm gonna do this fully and that's it. Everything else could suck it, because it's portrayed in this space and everything goes far, but you have to realize after you've really been in the game for a while, from me and Jared's standpoint, I'm gonna start closing in on 3 years. I think you're 3 years, or if not a little bit more.
Yeah, I would say.
Okay.
3 full.
Yeah. So basically the same time frame. I've seen that. I traded full time to be where you trade 4 hours, and technically you're just literally there bored for about 4 hours until there's a setup. And sometimes there's not a setup, and then sometimes you take a trade and you lose a trade early. Sometimes you take a trade and you win early, and you have 2 other hours to do whatever you want, or to to speed up your time or to do tasks earlier, as we could quote unquote say, you're going to have to know what works for you and what doesn't. So basically your strengths and your weaknesses, and you're gonna need data and a duration period to determine that, to know what really works for you. And why do I say that? You know, it all falls back to journaling your trade, journaling your emotions and everything. And it can sound very repetitive, and that's what my intent is, for it to be very repetitive so you guys could very much understand, because I know people that are great traders, but they still don't log their trades. At the end of the day, I mean, it's very simple. If you go back to every video that I said at the end of the day, man, if you had $1 every time you said that, it would be like $45 million. Cap, 100%. But look, guys, you're really gonna have to like track your emotions and track your trades enough to know what works and what really doesn't. I only trade Tuesday through Friday, 8 to 11, and that is it, period. And not even every single day I can trade, because I also am at work, and not every time does the circumstances open up for me to trade and everything thus far. When I'm in a calm state of mind and I could sit down, or I could be a little bit on the move, but like know what I'm doing enough to like stop and realize what's happening in a chart and be able to place a limit order or an execution, I'm good 100%. But if I'm in the moment where I'm very active, going place to place and doing so many things, and for those of you that have jobs and everything thus far, because I'm the same, it's times where you can't trade and everything thus far, but that's all right, because like you said, like you're growing a foundation at the end of the day, and you got to know how to play the game. And that's what ties me into the second point. Really try to adopt, when you enter the trading space and you really set your feet down that you're really gonna do something in this space, and you're like, I'm gonna make 6 figures, I'm gonna make 7 figures, I'm gonna make eight figures like me and Jared did. We know that it's gonna take time, and we know that 100% we have to find our process and our rhythm to flow with things and everything, and that's gonna take some trial and error. That's gonna take some experience. That's gonna take multiple losing trades, multiple winning trades, break evens, and the environment is gonna be very much in a factor. I traded in a shop where I passed my funding firm challenges. Was it the most beautiful, peaceful bliss? No, it wasn't. At the end of the day, I was able to exit the environment, and then when I had to go back to work, I decided to find an environment that actually worked for me. So that could be, a remote job for some people. That'd be amazing, because for trading, that's amazing. You could have one chart open right here and then be on another meeting right there, and everything else for whatever requires. You're at home, you're awesome, you're underpants. You basically just have a job and the trading view screen right there. Other things would be finding an environment that people are cool with what you do, as long as you get the job done. Because at the end of the day, when I open up my own, I could say, brick and mortar business and everything in the future, I don't care what you do, as long as you get the job done. Honestly, I really wouldn't care anything. If you're getting results, you're getting great customer service, whatever the thing may be and everything thus far, I don't care if we have 4 screens. As long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and everything thus far, and you're productive, that's what really matters at the end of the day. That's what I see fit. And also, find shifts. Or if you don't have jobs that tailor to that are people who are cool with that, because I get it also. If if you're a boss and you're seeing a guy trade or something thus far, but it's not like you're really trading or whatever. What am I swear that was a cat, with a catnip, whatever. But
playing the piano.
Yeah, it was a piano. I thought it was scratching catnip or whatever. Oh no, he snorted catnip. But you really have to find whatever shifts work for you. If you trade in the morning, then find evening shifts. If you trade, at night, then have morning shifts. And if you trade London session, then maybe you just have morning shift to evening shift, and you have a regular job. And I just don't know how you sleep, but whatever works for you at the end of the day. I just know, if you're up for London and you have a regular 9 to 5, 7 to 5. I actually don't believe that if you want to make serious money, in a job, I'll just say at a job, 9 to 5 is kind of I've went on multiple sites, and I was bro, you kind of get medium pay for 9 to 5. The average thing now is I think 10-hour shifts. So I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that that's kind of regular nowadays. That's what I view, completely off topic, but back onto the topic. Yeah, find something that suits you well, basically.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I mean, really just to kind of like wrap it up, before you got introduced to trading, there was something in your life that you cared about.
Yes.
Right. 9.9 out of 10 people.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be something work-wise, business-wise, whether it be something spirituality-wise, whether it be fitness-wise, any of these aspects of your life, you had at least one thing, odds are, going into this that you already had some type of passion, excitement, drive to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And you said it great. Most people tell you need to give up your whole life and focus on only one thing. I completely disagree. I think that in the other 20 hours of your day, you have plenty of time to execute on those things and enjoy them, right?
Yeah.
And continue to do things that you found to be passionate beforehand, right? We actually had this conversation a couple days ago, and I want to bring it back up here because it's super relevant, where like we were both like at our peak physical state, which was something that we cared about a lot and we still do care about before trading. Me right now, I'm probably 175 pounds. I used to be 210 pounds, like full on. I was bodybuilding for years, right? And then you had a very similar story. It was a little bit different, where you were cutting weight and you were at like the most optimal build. Right?
Yeah, I was at like probably like 195 or 194.
Right, where you were at. And it's like, those were things that we enjoyed and still enjoy going into trading, that we thought if we sacrificed them in the moment, they were going to help us get to where we wanted to go. But like that, the point that we're trying to get across is that if you sacrifice all that stuff, you're not going to have a life outside of trading.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to be like stuck on the charts all day. I always need to learn something new. I always got to figure out this. I always got to back test this. I'm not saying these things are bad in moderation, but there are people who literally turn into like chart addict zombies who cannot get off the charts. I was like this for a little bit. Like, I'm going to say end of 2019, when I really started to grasp the methodology of what I trade now. There was like times where I would just be like 10 hours a day, like glued. Like, I gotta figure this out.
I remember when you used to trade London and New York.
Stuff out. I used to do that too. That was back in end of 2020, beginning of 2021. I used to try to trade both sessions. I was like, man, I'm so good. I can just do both.
Yeah.
That was my attitude.
I remember when he told me, I was like, hey, Jared, I look, bro, I'm your friend. I just trying to recommend. I've done what you're doing before, probably like 6 months prior.
Yeah.
And I was like, Jared, you're going to get like burned out a little bit. And he continued to do it, but he found out a little bit that, you know, it wasn't the most optimal thing.
Right. And I was like, dude, I got it, bro. I'm just going to do it. But it's like, you don't want to be in a situation where you don't have a life outside of it. Because what was I doing? I would sleep on and off. I was trying to trade 2 sessions. I might as well have just gotten a job if I wanted to trade for 8 hours.
There's nothing wrong with trading, but I mean, nothing wrong with a job, but like, I mean, you were literally pulling a 9 to 5.
Literally, but it was like a 2 a.m. to
11-hour breaks with sleeping. Woo, sweet.
Trying to stay up from session to session, dude. It's not fun. It's not fun at all. And it's like, you want to be in a state of like, I'm not gonna say you're gonna just full on love and enjoy trading every single day, but you want to be in a state of like at least some type of inner peace. Yeah. Where it's like, dude, 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day for us is pretty peaceful. It's not stressful. Yeah. It's not, I don't gotta peel my eyes open to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's very much a habit at this point, and it flows with the rest of our life. And that's really the point that we're trying to get at, is that trading doesn't have to be your life. It can just flow with your whole life. Yeah. Why did you get into trading in the first place? Right. Majority of people get in there for what? You know, the money. And I'm 100%. That's what I know. That's why I got in it. I'm pretty sure that's why you're got in it too. Right. Everything. It's not to be like, I'm going to impact people with my charts and everything. It's not that. You're doing with what the result of trading is the finances and everything thus far. If you want to share the knowledge of what you learn, phenomenal. That's what we are doing here, what we learned and everything. But like me showing you a screen and everything thus far is not, you know, not everybody's meant to be a trader at the end of the day, and it's for the select few at the end of the day. I'm gonna say that again. I'm just gonna leave that in there. I'm not even gonna crop it out. I just gotta be very much self-aware that my videos are gonna get better when I keep saying at the end of the day. Damn it, I said it again.
But look, why'd you get into trading in your first place? That's really it. Why don't you design your life as if you're already a successful trader?
Right. You wouldn't be trying to trade all day long.
You wouldn't.
And that's the thing that I try to tell people who trade multiple sessions. It's like, bro, if you already had the results that you want, would you trade every single session?
No.
No. If you could make 20 grand in one session, would you try to make more in the next one? Like, Brian, you gotta go check yourself in somewhere to like gambling rehab if you're doing that. I'm not making fun of you. I'm just being for real. Like, if you can't have that satisfaction of like, yo, I just made life-changing income in 2 hours.
Yeah.
I gotta go figure out. I gotta go get another fix. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The point that
You
I'm
gotta
trying
be
to
very
make across.
self-aware.
Right. It is an awareness thing, and it's a self-control thing where it's like, dude, if you put yourself in a mental place right now of whatever your number is, $200 a day, $500 a day, $1,000 a day, $10,000 a day, $50,000 a day, whatever your number is, put yourself there. And if you could do that in 2 hours, would you really want to spend the whole entire rest of your day like this at the grocery store, like this? You know what I mean? Like, bro, there's people
Like, you
who
can't
are
even
like
leave your apartment. You have a beautiful apartment, but you can't leave your apartment because like
you're stuck there.
Yeah,
It's like creating a prison with like your own success.
Yeah, like, I mean, remember why you got in it. And I believe as time went on, I believe you need to do other things. And we're speaking in a place of trading. We're not speaking as a place of where you have a brick and mortar business or you have, online business or everything thus far. You could give that your wholehearted attention also as well, other than trading. But it's different. In trading, you could burn out.
Right.
And you have to be very careful. In your business and everything, you can pour your heart out, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
In trading, it's a little bit more strategic, as business as well. But
the concept, and we talk about this in our course, we get a little bit further into it in the course, but just the overall concept of what you're talking about is that in a business, the principle can apply where if you do more, you get more.
Yeah.
But in trading, it's the exact opposite paradigm, where if you do more, you can actually get a lot less.
Exactly. You're just looking for, high quality.
Yeah.
And we could be here all day talking about this, but to wrap up this video and everything, thus far, it's simple. We already said everything that we needed to say at that. Oh, I was about to say at the end of the day because I just said it again. But go back and reflect. The question and the homework to ask yourself today is, what would you be doing right now if you're already a successful trader? If you're already making $20,000, $50,000 a month, or $100,000 and everything else, what would you be doing with your time?
Yeah.
Start designing your life as you are already there, and you may not be there yet. And that's completely all right, as long as you have the vision for where you're going and you're taking action, but you're confronting the brutal reality of what things are happening nowadays and taking action to change them. Like I said, you're on the right track.
Yeah.
But guess what? Obviously, if I had $100,000 a month, I'd be driving my cars more and more often because I like cars. But right now, can't be doing that as much. But guess what? I could be doing other things. I could be serving other people. I could be hanging out with some friends, learning from a diverse set of people and everything thus far. So yeah, go back and ask yourself that question and write it down on a piece of paper. Because remember,
I have one more thing.
Go ahead.
Before we leave, because bro, there's gonna be this one person, and I need to say this before we end the video. There's gonna be this one person who's like, well, Jared, well, Rob, what if I need to study still? What if I need to back test?
Very true.
What if I have to do all these things? You're telling me to live my life like I'm already successful. What if I have to do these things? Well, guess what? How long was the time block?
Yeah.
It's 4 hours long.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be trading for 4 hours.
Yeah.
I promise you, if you find your setup and you get in your position and you let it ride, you're at break even, whatever the case is, your trade only takes an hour, or whatever the scenarios are.
Yeah.
You have anywhere from 2 to 3 more hours within your time block to put in plenty of work that needs to be done between whatever the inner development that you're trying to do, the back testing, studying strategy, whatever the case is. Any of those variables that that you feel like you need to do right now because you're not where you want to be, we're giving you 4 hours to do it.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be 20, it doesn't need to be 10. You know what I mean? Like, you have plenty of time, and I knew I just had to say that because there's gonna be that one person who's like, I don't agree with that because I still need to study. I still need to back test. Well, you have plenty of time to do it within your window.
Yeah, very, very well said. With that, guys, we will see you guys next week. Appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Instagram. Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you soon. Thank you very much.